Alright, so we're going to do another bike check. I just picked up this Salsa Rangefinder. It's a new model from them. I think it's new for 2020. Hardtail mountain bike. Front fork is a 120 millimeter air fork from Sun Tour. Comes with a dropper, although mine is I'm having some issues with it because I've been messing around with the cable. Still working, but I need to adjust the cable a bit because I'm going to be doing a bike packing setup with all the bags, and I think I'll make a bag video tomorrow. But sometimes the bags will pull on the cable, and it's been kind of messing up some of the cables. I'm going to go over some of the cons and pros later, but first I want to mention who this bike is for and maybe who it's not for, because it's pretty attractive at the price point of $1,100, but I don't want anybody to get the illusion that it's maybe the sort of like budget aggressive hardtail they were looking for. This is definitely not an aggressive hardtail, even though you have these 2.6 knobby tires and the 120 millimeter air fork. There are a couple things on the bike that will give away that it's not an aggressive hardtail, and those two things would be the overall geometry, most importantly the headtube being 68.5 degrees, which is definitely not aggressive, but it's also a really good compromise between an aggressive hardtail and a traditional cross-country bike. And then the big one, which everybody on the internet is squealing about, is the boost quick release in the rear. 141 millimeter, not 135. It's a notorious cost-cutting measure for building the frames, and a lot of people are definitely going to have a bone to pick with that, but I would go so far as to defend Salsa in that for the price point and for Salsa's usual clientele, it shouldn't be as big of an issue. Like I was saying, this shouldn't necessarily be the bike that you're looking to be a budget aggressive hardtail and take out on bike park laps or local dirt jump trails. It's certainly built to get rowdy, and it can handle some smaller tech, some smaller jumps, but in between the head tube angle and the quick release hub, those should just be 2 points to remind you that this isn't for sending it to flat. This isn't for the craziest, chunkiest stuff. Also, another thing I forgot to mention for as far as riding this too aggressively is the brakes. They are hydraulic, but 160 millimeter front and rear low-end Shimano brakes. These things are really soft. I'm kind of having to let them bed in a bit, but even after a good long hard ride down the big hill in my area, even after letting them bed in, they're pretty soft. And I think the mounting points are both able to take 180 millimeter rotors, so you could make that small upgrade, but I think ultimately it has to do with the entire brake setup, from the pads to the calipers to the levers. You're not going to get much more out of just upgrading the rotors. It is noted as this is the Deore version. I think the other was an SX Ram. I forget what the upgraded model is, but I went with the Deore. And unfortunately, instead of a Deore crankset, it comes with kind of a non-branded Samox crankset. It's a 30T in the front with 1142 10-speed in the rear. I'm pretty sure these pedals were supplied by REI. I'm not sure how Salsa ships out their bikes, but decent for your stock bike pedals, but definitely gonna have to upgrade those to do any serious riding, along with the grips. I'm pretty sure grips are supplied by Salsa, of course, and these are shockingly low quality. I mean, I know they don't put any money into it because they know almost everybody's going to switch the grips, but these are just surprising. Even for when you're buying an $1,100 bike, I'd wish they'd at least go a little bit further than this. Not this rubbery end cap nonsense. This bike is about 31 pounds. I'm riding a size large 29er. The stock tires it comes with, the WTB Trail Boss, are 2.6, and then you can run it with 60-50B wheels at 2.8 or larger. Nice little Salsa headtube badge detail there. I'm not sure if my video is going to be the best descriptor of the colors because of the lighting. So I can get different angles. You can kind of see it'll look a little bit more like that. And then without the lighting it goes too dark. And you can kind of see it there, but it'll be lighter probably than what my video is showing. Some of the some of the Salsa designs, you have the mounting points here, which I think could take a normal cage, but what these are for specifically is direct mount top tube bags. I'm not going to get one because I bought different bags that don't take this, so they end up kind of being in the way, but I do want to leave the bolts in so the threads don't get dirty or messed up. But yeah, you can buy one of those direct mounts or potentially just put a cage there. Here's a triple mount, the only one on this bike which takes any triple mount cages like the Salsa anything cage. I won't be getting that because I'm doing a full frame bag setup instead. And of course you could just put a normal cage on the bottom two here and then a normal cage on your seat tube here and have that dual setup. And there's a under tube mount which I'm probably going to use. I'm either not going to use it because I ride rougher trails and I just don't want any bottles or pumps getting damaged, but I might keep the pump here just because it's so convenient. And my pump's kind of large for a carry-on pump since I have these ginormous 29 tires. Oh, and I forgot to mention the front. So I know I mentioned that the back was quick release, but the front is a true boost through axle, 15x110 as you can see there, and it is an Allen wrench only, no levers, which is nice for if you have to lock up. I'm not sure what changes I'm going to make yet. I have bought new grips are coming in because I had to change those. New pedals are coming in because I want some larger platform pedals with the actual metal pins and the nylon as opposed to just completely plastic. And then I'm also getting road tires because most of my riding is on road until I actually do go on the trail. And these trail tires are honestly overkill for my area because I'm riding trails close to the beach and it's all hard packed sand, so I don't necessarily want to swap these out, and I definitely don't want to ride my road tires on the trails, but I'm not sure what to do yet. I took those out of my trails and they felt very unwieldy in the corners because my trails are completely hard. They're not biting into anything, so I just felt like I was riding on square rectangular wheels. But so far I'm really impressed. It's my first 29er. And yeah, I bought the BMX not too long ago, and I planned to buy another mountain bike, but I had to buy it. I didn't plan to buy it so soon, but I had to do it because bikes are out of stock everywhere. I came across this one when I was very surprised about the feature set for the overall cost. I bought mine from REI and picked it up on the curb less than a week ago. So yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna load up all the bags on it that I'm doing for bike packing and go over the bag set. So this is the 2020 Salsa Rangefinder bike check. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. And I'll be training for my bike packing trip soon with my friend, and we'll post a couple of videos from that.